drone. Look, someone taking pictures there. What looks at it? It's further than you think when you run it. So it's further than you think when you run it. It's hard as well. That's better. So the location we were at was actually the Ouse Valley Viaduct. It's from the main line to London to Brighton railway line. Underneath you can sort of make the most of the amazing sort of architecture and everything that's used for shoots all the time. I've seen loads of people shoot there. I shot here for the first time probably 15 years ago or so. So every now and again I go back up there and utilise it. So that's what we did today, and then we went down the road to some gardens and just shot there as well. As you can see there, I had to run back to the car and get my tripod for the flash, but I also forgot a big diffuser, unfortunately, so I had to make do. But it still worked fine, and as you can see here, the shots still turned out really well, so keep watching. Ready? 3, 2, 1. That's better. As you can see here, a couple of shots as we started turned out really well, so we carried on, and they just got better and better. I do believe it. It's probably going to be more wise. Right. So shooting with the 14mm Samyang AF lens is quite difficult shooting portraiture, especially when you're quite a distance away. It struggles to focus on the face and stuff like that, so I swap lenses. I want to do that. Yeah, big, yeah, but yeah, like that. So you actually want to bring it round so it comes back round this way. So literally start on that side with your hair. So you start with your head, start with your hair this side. No, look, your hair that side. Yeah, and then literally just go. And then rotate. That's it. Yeah. So let me try. Set it up first. What are we at? We're at 500 frames a second. So let's come in. Okay. Go for it. So you can see there, I tried a wide angle version of this slow motion. As you can see in the background, the brickwork looks all distorted. It's due to the lack of resolution where it's upscaled to HD. What I might do is zoom in on you. So it's just, if I jump up that, and then I'll be the same level as you kind of thing. And then be like, better I think, because I'll be able to see all the stuff in the distance. Right, so hang on one moment. I'm not going to try that. Oh. So I then moved back sort of into another archway and zoomed in on the Rx10 IV and then shot again. As you can see there, a massive gust of wind came and basically just messed Rebecca's hair up, which was kind of cool, but obviously it wasn't what we were really looking for. This is what we were trying to achieve. We did probably 10 takes of this, and that one I really love because she's got a nice expression on her face, and it just worked quite well, and a smile at the end, which is really cute. So that was nice. And then as you can see, we tried another one and another one and another one and another one. The wind gusted just at the same time as well as she started to flick, so hair lifted very slightly. But this one worked quite nicely as well because it flicks right round and back over the other shoulder. This one's a much more sort of stronger pose in the face, but still looking good, so that worked well. Showing the model what you're doing and how well it's going is always very important. So in between shooting, obviously taking photos of Rebecca or any other model I'll be shooting with, I'm constantly walking over to them, showing them what we've just achieved. Are you happy with that? What do you know? And they can give me some feedback on how they like, how they think they look, or how they like to look, or if I've not got quite the right angle, they go, oh no, I don't like that one. So it's quite important to constantly, work together. A lot of people, a lot of photographers I've heard of, who don't do that, and it's not particularly good, because if the model doesn't know how it's going, she doesn't really know how to react. And the more you do, and the more both of you see and look back at the work, you're going to improve. So as you go along. So it worked really well. We were lucky on the weather, because actually I think it was raining in the morning early, and then it sort of went, but it was still cloudy, but actually it kind of diffused the light in the sky, so there was less shadowing most of the time. Obviously the sun did come out quite a few times, but it's one of those things you just carry on working in. I did have flash out, as you saw, but I forgot my large diffuser, so basically I just had the flash gun with a small diffuser on a small stand that could go up to about 6'6", something like that. But showing her shots like this, she's really pleased with them, which is really nice. Just shooting slightly differently, using flash to backlight, or not backlight, sorry, to counteract the backlight from the sun. And it just worked really nicely. There was another photographer there when we arrived. We tried to stay out of their way. Obviously they were doing a couples photo shoot, so we just left them to it. We sort of hid out of the way a little bit. Once they were done, they moved out into the field, and we carried on. But really nice shot there. We then carried on to a different location just up the road, which is a gardens, and it had really nice like ponds and lakes and ornaments everywhere, like artwork and things like that. And I utilised the Rx10 Mark IV and the a7r3 together. Obviously some for the slow motion video, and getting shots like this. Obviously utilising the slow motion video on things like the moving ornaments that they've got there. This little fountain thing that tipped the water off one side and then tipped water the other side over a particular amount of time. So that worked really well. Lighting was pretty nice. It was sunny, like I said, but the clouds were covering the sun occasionally, so it did diffuse the light a little bit. But it was pleasant. It wasn't cold either, which was good, and there wasn't much wind either. So we then found a play park. So we thought, we're big kids, we shouldn't grow up. So she jumped on this big swing here, and it actually made quite a bit of fun, and it was good laugh for a bit of slow motion video as well, which worked nicely. There was a beautiful house there as well, a mansion, proper sort of English country sort of house. So that worked really nicely. Kind of gave the impression that it was Rebecca's house and she was just sat in the garden just relaxing in the sun. So the next photo is that kind of feel. That's what we were going for. The lawn was nicely cut, but they left the flat. They hadn't obviously mowed it that often. That the buttercups and the daisies and stuff like that were there. The big angel you just saw, that was a kind of cool massive art piece. We then found this funny box thing that had like portholes in it, and when you look through on some of them, you could see mirrors, and basically it was obviously just a square room with no roof, but mirrors everywhere. But also I think they called it the infinity room or something. But basically you could look through and you could see out the other portholes, but you also saw reflections backwards and forth with the plants, so it kind of just gave you multiple depth, as you can see there. But I sent her around the other side and just take a look through the one of the portholes there, and I just wondered if the eye autofocus would work. And because you couldn't really see her face, it was slightly in shadow, and no trouble at all, as you'll see in a second. Locked straight on, no trouble at all, even though she was actually relatively in shade, and it was in through a circular hole, so it's obviously not representing the normal shape of a human as such. But that worked really well. So that was just an interesting little mini test there. It kind of worked really well, as you can see there. But yeah, no, really good day and all. And as you can see there, the random sort of blurriness of the mirrors and everything that you could see back on yourself, which worked well, but a bit different. So that wasn't That was a good thing. So then we walked down into the Woodland, and unfortunately we forgot about other shoes, so Rebecca was struggling a little bit in the heels, even though she persevered. I did feel a little bit sorry for her, but she made it. So we didn't go too deep into the Woodland, but as you can see here, some nice natural shots, just utilising the woodland location, all the bokeh in the background with all the leaves reflecting the light and stuff worked quite nicely. And yeah, so did a few more shots there, and then we sort of walked back up into the garden, and carried on shooting up there for a little while, and then that was it really. She's drunk again. I've got a thistle up my bum. So after moving the thistle from poking me in the butt, it was just a few more shots really. As you can see here, some nice just utilising natural light really. I didn't get the flash gun out, but yeah, really lovely day really. It was really good. And as we walked back round, we just found an old gate which worked really well as well. So utilised that just as the last shot of the day really. Yeah, so all in all it was a really nice day. It was lovely to meet her, and hopefully I'll shoot again with Rebecca there. So guys, don't forget to click the subscribe button and also the little notification bell as well, and don't forget to ask questions if you've got any about the cameras, or any tips and tricks and whatever, and I shall see you soon.